California will allow Amsterdam-like cannabis cafes. Marijuana dispensaries in California will be allowed to sell food and non-alcoholic beverages, as well as host live events on their premises under legislation that Governor Gavin Newsom signed yesterday. It paves the way for full-scale pot lounges in the state. The bill, which was backed by celebrities like Whoopi Goldberg and Bill Maher, who own marijuana businesses, is seen by the cannabis industry as a significant boost for legal shop owners who say they have struggled to keep up with hefty taxes and stiff competition from illegal marijuana outlets. Several other states already allow dispensaries to serve hot food and non-alcoholic beverages on site. According to the Marijuana Policy Project, California has the most cannabis consumers in the nation, though, and demand for cafes is so great in the state that some businesses have tried workarounds in West Hollywood, which has been called the Amsterdam of the Far West. Last year, Governor Newsom vetoed a previous version of the bill, concerned that it would undermine the state's smoke-free workplace protections. He encouraged the author of the bill, Assemblyman Matt Haney, Democrat from San Francisco, to try again with a bill that addressed those concerns. The version that the governor signed on Monday included a provision requiring that employees of the cafes be given information about the hazards of secondhand smoke and be permitted to wear masks. Mr. Haney said the legislation was a much-needed innovation that would create jobs, increase revenue, and attract tourists. He said this is the future of legal cannabis consumption. People want to consume cannabis with others. They want to be part of the culture and community of cannabis, and California could lead on that. He also said that he became involved in the issue after meeting with owners of legal cannabis retail shops in the district who felt their growth was stymied by the state's rules. Unlike dispensaries, a lounge or cafe offers a place for customers to stay and smoke. Until now, legal marijuana outlets in California have been prohibited from offering even a bottle of water for sale. Mr. Haney said, quote, "That's irrational and arbitrary and misguided. It's empowering the illegal illicit market," end quote. Critics argued that the legislation would make public smoking more acceptable, giving the tobacco industry an opening to make a case for its return to communal settings. Tim Knox, the California managing director of the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network, said, "We have a culture that has been built over decades in California, due in large part to passage and successful implementation of smoke-free laws in places like bars and restaurants and public spaces. Right now, marijuana use is beginning to eclipse tobacco use," he added, "and we need to make sure that our smoke-free policies are maintained and enhanced, not chipped away at." Mr. Knox called the changes in the latest bill mere window dressing and said they underscored danger of secondhand smoke and subverted the initiative that legalized cannabis in California. Passed by voters in 2016, the Adult Use of Marijuana Act included the stipulation that marijuana could not be smoked anywhere that people were prohibited from smoking tobacco. When Mr. Newsom was lieutenant governor, he was the highest-ranking state official to back the recreational marijuana initiative. He explained in a signing message on Monday that he vetoed last year's cannabis cafe bill because it did not provide enough safeguards for workers, and changed his position this year because of the additional safety measures in the new bill. But he warned that he may reconsider allowing cannabis cafes if local governments do not ensure that businesses comply. He wrote, "While I am signing this bill, any future measure that diverges from this tailored approach will not be looked upon favorably," unquote. The bill signed on Monday takes effect next year. It gives local governments the authority to decide whether to allow cannabis cafes within their borders and to issue and require permits for them. Cannabis smoke is on the state's list of chemicals known to cause cancer or reproductive harm. Because it is a restricted substance at the federal level, research and public awareness of its effects have so far been limited. And Dr. Michael Ong, a professor in medicine and health policy and management at the University of California, Los Angeles. He said, quote, "We know it's not the same as tobacco smoke. There are different chemicals. Just because they're different doesn't mean that they are better," end quote. Dr. Ong is also the chairman of the Tobacco Education Research and Oversight Committee, which advises the California Department of Public Health, and opposed the bill. If you're burning it, he said, of marijuana, you're going to create the same type of chemicals that are in tobacco that are linked to cancer, lung issues, respiratory infections, and cardiovascular issues. Supporters of the new law say cannabis lounges keep secondhand smoke in contained areas where customers have chosen to partake. Governor Newsom's signing was celebrated on Monday in West Hollywood, a city of over 35,000 in Los Angeles County, and that has a huge concentration of cannabis dispensaries and lounges. West Hollywood is the kind of Beverly Hills of weed, said Scott Schmidt, who's the executive director of the Emerald Village, which markets the city's cannabis industry. He added, "We have these amazing destinations, lounges, celebrity-owned dispensaries. Those lounges have been coming up with creative ways to provide food and drinks, having customers order items that are prepared in an adjacent building and delivered with a separate bill, like the Cannabis Cafe over there in Hollywood. New law will let current owners skip the workarounds and expand their businesses." Jay Handel, who is a 70-year-old operating partner of The Woods in WeHo, said it's definitely groundbreaking and it makes perfect sense. His shop has a koi pond and a garden, and owners are Bill Maher, Woody Harrelson, and John McEnroe. When the bill takes effect, Mr. Handel said he plans to serve cappuccino and pastries. I'm Todd Denkin with High at 9 News, and what do you think about cannabis cafes in California? Jason, I'm especially interested in your thoughts, since you clearly are the king of West Hollywood.
You know, I want to say one thing real quick about the guy who was like the head of the research for...
Or Saman, just go ahead.
No, yeah.
Saman Combs.
Yeah.
I just want to say, whoa. Let's take it easy. Let's say, yo, Rico, that's like lowest blow possible right now, dog. Come on now.
Oh, boy.
Speak off.
Take that.
Mm-hmm. Take that.
So all I want to say is this. The guy who was the head of the Tobacco Research, Institute, this guy is the most disingenuous guy ever. You're telling me that there's all the other bullshit chemicals in cannabis that there are in tobacco? No, that's completely false. That is ridiculous for that guy to say that. We obviously know who's paying that guy to say those things. So I just want to call out that complete disaster of
he actually said, "We know it's not the same as tobacco smoke. There are different chemicals. Just because they're different doesn't mean they're better."
But he said but what, go on further to read. He said that
you're going to create the same type of chemicals that are in tobacco that are linked to cancer, lung issues, respiratory infections.
So I didn't know that. I didn't know that burning
this stuff.
It's like formaldehyde and bullshit that's in the cigarette.
That was bullshit. That statement. I agree.
That's gonna turn into something else when it's actually heated, right? So it's like, this is completely disingenuous. That guy's a scientist first and foremost, so fuck that guy. Secondly, I just
Dr. Ong.
Hey, yeah, Dr. Ong. Dr. Ong, maybe you should go get your, ethics check, buddy, because that's...
You're saying that Dr. Ong is wrong?
I'm saying Dr. Ong is wrong.
I saw what you did there, Jenny.
Dr. Ong needs a bong.
So go ahead, Jason. Go ahead now. Thank you for my 2 seconds.
Why didn't they get an Emerald Village comment from Jason?
That was a lot longer. That was a lot longer than 2 seconds.
Jason's been excommunicated.
No, stop the cap. That's ridiculous. No,
Jason is the West Hollywood DEI hire.
No, whoa.
They ain't with that DEI no more. That's why he's an OC now.
No. It has nothing to do with any of that. Has nothing to do with any of that. No, I am the president of Emerald Village, and Jay Handel is one of our members of the Emerald Village, and so I just want to give a big round of applause and thanks for all the people that put in a lot of work to get this passed the second time go around. It's going to be an extremely big help out for the industry overall. So we're very, very thankful that the governor signed this bill. All the legislators worked diligently on it, on reworking it after the first time the governor vetoed it. And it is definitely, West Hollywood with our consumption lounges, a lot of them are already operating as restaurants, right? But they're having to operate as two separate businesses at the same time, where where like a delivery license is is basically, you keep the cannabis in a separate spot, and that's the cannabis licensed spot, and then they're actually delivering it into the restaurant, which creates a whole other host of different types of nuances and whatnot. And so I'm really glad and super excited to see this. And I know all of the consumption lounges in West Hollywood are overwhelmingly joyed to have this. And so this is going to be great, and I hope to see more consumption lounges like the model that we've created in West Hollywood expand to more cities across the state.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah.
Anytime.
How would you feel if somebody called you a hypocrite though, because you no longer live in West Hollywood?
It doesn't matter. I'm still the president. Still have a business in West Hollywood. So how's that hypocritical?
Are you going to post up some cannabis lounges in West Hollywood? I would love to see that. I mean,
I'm more than happy. I'm more than happy to do that.
I would love to see that.
Yeah,
can you spread the movement out there to your red friends?
Oh man, I spread the movement all the time out there with my red friends.
Yeah, I'm sure you
That's
do.
why I'm the highest Republican, Rico.
Yeah, spreading the movement with your red
sell
friends.
weed in the cafes?
Yeah, they sell weed in the cafe. Yeah.
They have they'll have a weed menu and then they have a food menu, but then some places will only have a weed menu and you have to DoorDash food in from a specific restaurant, which is not the business.
You have to be a dispensary to have a lounge?
No.
Yes.
No, you don't. No, you do not. These are all totally separate licenses. Lowell's, for instance, is a standalone the OG Cannabis Cafe, formerly known as Lowell's. The OG Cannabis Cafe is a standalone consumption lounge by itself.
Oh shit, Jason, we got a
So that
super
is not
chat.
the case all over California.
Do the rules say that as a cannabis lounge owner, I cannot now buy wholesale cannabis and then sell it retail and compete with the dispensary?
No. You can only buy it as prepackaged goods. They do not have a distribution license to where they can break down and do that. They would have to work with another group in order to create their own house brands, if that's what you're
So
asking.
they're buying it all packaged, but do they get a bulk discount and then sell it to the public
they would
and
buy it at
compete?
wholesale.
What do you think? I don't
wholesale.
understand. Todd, your question doesn't make sense.
I understand it. Let me answer, Jason. I get his question. Yeah, absolutely. So the consumption licenses are buying it the same price, wholesale price from the distributor that the
default retail
store would get. So they're
how it works.
Project 2025 solves for this, Todd.
Hey, on that note, I would like to give a big shout out to the C word with a super chat in the building.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much.
NorCal Seed Market Terpnami coming this September. All vendor tables are sold. Come and get you the generics.
Genetics. He meant to say genetics.
I don't know. It could have been a double entendre right there.
But just so you know, it says December, not September, Rico.
I'm high.
Yeah, exactly. Just
it's hard.
Yeah. It's gonna be all right. We're gonna go to our final commercial. We're gonna be right back.
Genetics.
So he meant.
I read generics right.
Mm-hmm.
Them generic.
I think he meant genetics though, right?